Latency and viruses that attack eukaryotes. So we talked a little bit about the difference between the lytic and the lysogenic cycle in bacteria, prokaryotes, and now we'll talk about it a little bit in eukaryotes because there are some viruses that can lie dormant for years and then come out. So some viruses that infect eukaryotes, like you, remain inactive or dormant for many years in the nervous system tissues. So if you don't know the word dormant, whoops, that means inactive, so you can write that word in instead. So here's one example. This is chickenpox caused by a virus called varicella zoster, and it's an infection that typically occurs in childhood. And since they've been vaccinating against it, it doesn't appear that much anymore, but some people still get it. It can reappear later in life as shingles, which looks more like that. And shingles can be pretty bad, or it can be not so bad. You can get a mild case of it, or it can be really, really, really awful. Other herpes viruses also become latent or just hang out for years in the nervous system. And so a herpes whoops, for example, a herpes infection lasts for a person's lifetime. And so there are different strains of herpes. There's oral herpes and genital herpes. Genital herpes is herpes simplex 2. And then cold sores or fever blisters are herpes simplex 1. So viruses gain entry into animal host cells via several such sites as the skin, the GI tract, that means the digestive system, like your mouth, and the respiratory tract, breathing stuff in. So you can catch a virus because it can go onto your skin, can get into your mouth. The GI tract starts with the mouth, or you can breathe it in. So the skin, usually if it's broken, typically if it's intact, you're okay. Animal viruses, typically meaning a virus that infects animals, typically spread throughout the body mainly by the way of the bloodstream, but they can also spread via the nervous system. So viruses have more difficulty infecting plants due to the cell wall, lucky them, and usually require a vector. So a vector is another organism that helps it get in, so an insect that can spread the virus. There are vectors that help pathogens get into us, but usually not viruses, usually something more like a bacterium or a protist. And the vector for us would usually be a mosquito or a tick. And that is the end of my story. That was a quick one.